Old School Runescape is an old game. When most people played this game, this guy was still popular. And because this game is so old, you have to get creative with its mechanics to make bosses fun. This gets a little wacky when you start designing raids. Really, you have three main things you can do to flex player skill: movement, prayer swapping, and gear swapping. Now that's not a lot of things, but you can still do some interesting stuff. But because the game is so simple at its core, if things are directly explained to you, it can feel more like a to-do list than an interactive gameplay experience. This is where subtlety comes in. In most raids, you show up to each boss room and go, whoa, what am I even supposed to do here? In Chambers of Zarek, you see a big salamander and say, wait, I can attack this thing's hands? In Theater of Blood, you see Verzik and say, why is she sitting in that chair? But with Tombs of Amascut, you kind of just say, oh, I move right, then left, then to the middle? The biggest mystery you feel in this raid is when you first step in the door and wonder where to go first, and why the room names don't match the bosses. Let's say you start with Krondis, or Zabak, or Gardening Simulator. Once you enter the room, you're given an option to grab a watering can. You water the tree, stop the crocodiles, it's all pretty easy. No big complaints because for a puzzle room, it's not annoying. And honestly, that's my biggest gripe with puzzle rooms. The best compliment I can ever give them is that they're not annoying in the first place. There's absolutely no reason you can't incorporate real-time skill or game mechanics into this process, but I'll save that discussion for another video. Once you step through the door to Zabak, it shoots a jug or rock at you, and you have two options for prayers. The croc throws out some acid, don't step in that, some waves show up, don't swim in that, and then Zabak screams. If you didn't use a guide, you probably die, but even so, you probably figure it out when you try again. Now let's say you walk into Theater of Blood. Bam! First boss already has so much depth. No shitty puzzles, just mayhem. Top is like an anime with no filler episodes. The boss starts shooting magic attacks, but sometimes if there's blood on the ground, you step in it, the raid gets harder. Boss starts healing, blood spawns come out, and now you're in a situation that's different every raid. The raid doesn't smack you in the face with instructions or hints. It has depth, but depth that's your responsibility to explore. Tombs of Amascut reminds me of a different game. Now this game is fun, but not necessarily my taste for an MMORPG. I don't want this to be all hating. Toa is a great raid, and it's especially important as a stepping stone for players getting into raiding content. But what this all boils down to is subtlety. With Tombs of Amascut, there is no mystery. There is no deeper meaning. What you see is what it is. Every other boss room is more of the same. Overly telegraphed attacks, and not much freedom beyond just doing it right or wrong. Now, if we go back to the main example with Theater of Blood, you're provided with a choice to kill blood spawns. You can freeze or kill them as they come up to be safe, or you can trust your abilities that they won't get out of hand. This flexibility also helps the learning experience. Can't do the Scythe Walk at Zarpus? Blowpipe and stand at the edge. Can't get down the timing to Scythe Phase 1 Verzik? Mage it. It also rewards you for knowing the inner mechanics so you can skip certain healing phases and push damage. Tombs of Amascut doesn't provide you with these kinds of choices. You either do the mechanic, or you don't. When you first see your final boss, you should be in awe. Olm shoots out of the ground, Verzik flings humongous magic attacks at you, but Tombs of Amascut does things different. You smack a pillar while dodging lights that fall down. They honestly just make you feel like you're in a giant deli hot case. Once you have sufficiently kicked this inanimate object's ass, Phase 2 happens. And honestly, Phase 2 is the best part of the whole raid. Lasers are flying everywhere, testing your understanding of movement. The boss uses multiple attack styles, testing your reaction time, and then you're given a brief reprieve while you spec the core. This fight feels different every time. Even though the core isn't complex, I'll let it slide because it gives you some nice breathing room. Once you've finished off the Warden, Phase 3 starts. This phase feels like I'm playing a D&D campaign with a railroading DM, who won't let the story deviate from what he wants. The fight consists of movement clicking where the game tells you to, then clicking where skulls show up, then a final phase where you dodge obstacles while you attack. This final experience will never be different from raid to raid, and there are no subtle mechanics you learn to give you an edge as you get more experience. Phase 3 Warden feels like they wanted to make the Olm fight, head-running mechanics and all, but not have any of the responsibility to be put on the players to learn. Chambers of Zarek and Theater of Blood do something that's a rarity in Old School Runescape. They provide a sense of pride after just one completion. What's up, guys? I just want to say thank you for watching the video. I also made a clan chat in-game and a Discord, so if you want to come in and hang out, or maybe pitch an idea for a next small video essay, definitely join one of those two things.